When we were, I was telling Robert and a lot of you, as we were putting the puzzle pieces together, all the activities that we had this weekend, if you really kind of think about the process that it took to complete those activities, there's a lot of introspection that goes into those activities. Those puzzle pieces, I couldn't believe how long people took to finish their puzzle and are still trying to finish their puzzle. What I gathered from making that puzzle was just like, there's just so many different lessons. Me doing my puzzle by myself, one of my lessons was like, it's not good to do life alone. It isn't. Don't isolate yourself. It's not good to do life alone. The other lesson I got from that is like, even though I thought I was alone, people that completed their puzzles came over to help me out. There's a real sense of community and a sense of feeling a part of it when it comes to puzzles. And this is the thing about puzzles. Our life is like a puzzle. When we throw all those pieces on the table and that's the beginning of our life, it looks like a chaos. You know, it's just like, where do we fit? How does this all come together? I heard frustration coming out in some of the families. That's life though, right? There's going to be frustration. There was also persistence that I saw in the families that just kept going, took a break outside, came back, kept going and kept going. And at the end, the pieces came together. And this is another lesson I saw from the puzzle. It's like, until Jesus Christ comes, some of the things just won't make sense. Amen. It won't. And when we get to heaven, we're either going to say, wow, or ah, no wonder, or wow, this is why that happened. But until then, as the pieces come together, every little piece, you know, it's like, my puzzle's a mess. But when Shantae bought one little piece, is like, yay! That's just one piece. That's family. When one little thing comes together, you start having a joy that becomes like, because one thing just adds up to another piece and another piece. And until this day of Jesus Christ comes, we won't all put it together. I just want to give you 3 points about reward. And I love it because I'm just taking it from what I observed this weekend. Point number 1 about reward is that it's not immediate. And when you saw our boys come up, D-Man and Suava, to share their family text, they hit it right on the nose. You know, Suava's text was about, it's not immediate gratification. Something worthwhile, the reward, it's not immediate. You have to wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. And the longer the struggle, the deeper the hurt, the bigger and higher the reward. So it is not immediate reward. Second, it comes from giving. Do you know that you guys actually had to give your time to be here? That's why this means something to you. You know, and thank you, London. And London gives me a rubber band. Said I'm going to shoot those 7-Eleven 7-Up cans better next time. But point number 2 in reward is, your reward is found in the giving. Some of us that, or myself at times, most of the times where I don't feel the sense of reward is because I'm so focused on myself. And you'll notice that in your walk too. It's like when we say me, 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 it doesn't work out. But once you start pouring into coming here, pouring into your family, pouring into your church, into your community, you're going to start forgetting about the self. Because the self is your #1 distractor, or #1 thing that gets in the way of getting a reward. It isn't your husband or your wife that's getting into the way of you receiving a reward. God checks you up. Because every time we think it's the other person, you realize that God puts these situations in front of you, and you can't move away from those situations until you've overcome those situations. It's for your good, not for your spouse's good. And there's a text in Proverbs that says, a gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. It's in the giving that we are ushered into the presence of the great. Amen. And we receive a reward. The third point about the reward is that it takes character. It takes character. And God chisels what it is that you have, that's going on, that's keeping you from receiving that reward. What I love about God and what I'm learning about God is that it's never been about the other person that's sitting next to us. Every time I start pointing my finger, whether it's to my husband or the church, you know, because the church, this, and do you realize it is your character that is being in question, that it is my character that's being in question? So as you've had the chance to just be around each other throughout this weekend, I pray that reconciling, reviving, releasing, and all those things that you've heard about over and over this weekend, that in the end, that the real reason when Christ says, well done, good and faithful servant, hey, we're going to wait till Jesus Christ to come until we get that reward, right? Some of us wait for like a medal around our neck. But hey, family, this is the thing. At the end of the day, what is your reward? What can you go to bed and say, well done. I did a great job for my family, for my God, for my neighborhood. And that's where these things come in. Because at the end of the day, really, these are the rewards that you get. And I'm just going to read like one from each family because I know this is an activity, family, because for a worship service that you guys have at home, we did this activity probably about 8 years ago. Me and Ben went down to New Zealand and we took all our little nephews and we did a road trip right around the South Island of New Zealand. And for worship at night, we just wrote our names on the paper and everybody just passed it around. I love you, I thank you because. You know my nephews, just on Bennett's birthday, they called him back up and reminded Bennett what they loved about him and read, you know, what they wrote. I loved you because. And it means so, so, so much. Because most of us won't get a medal for something. Most of us won't be rewarded with money or big homes or cars. Most of us won't. But I tell you this, when you focus on a treasure that's not immediate, when your reward is in the giving, when your reward is in the character, this is what happens because this is your reward. Nellie, this is your reward when you get to sleep at night. This is what Lena wrote. I'm thankful for my mom because she's the best. She loves me so much. That's your reward. Money can't buy that. Marie, Mila wrote this about you. For being a good mother, for my son, I thank you for giving me a beautiful son, for loving me, for the sacrifices she takes for my family, for being a spiritual leader for my family. That's your reward, Marie. And I wish I could read everybody's reward here. This is D-Man. This is D-Man's reward. D-Man, I'm thankful for D-Man because he's my big brother. He cooks me French toast. He cleans the house. He plays the movie I like. For your big heart and loyalty, for your intelligence when it counts. D-Man, that's your reward. It's priceless. It's priceless. Boat. Here's your reward, Boat. Where are you? Dad, I thank God for you because you're the most caring father a daughter could ask for. That's your reward. I thank God for you because you are such a loving, understanding, and amazing father. I am blessed to have you in my life. I thank God for blessing me with an amazing husband. You have showed me the meaning of love. I thank God for blessing me with a hard-working, loving family, caring, godly-like father like you. I thank God for you because you provide for us and spoil us for free. LOL. You're the best understanding father ever, and I couldn't ask for a better dad. That's your reward, bro. You go to sleep at night. Just know that's your reward. That's your reward. Whose family am I missing? I'll read this, a.k.a. Daddy. Poti, Suava A. Poti, a.k.a. Daddy. This is your reward, bro. You continue to you continue to strive to make our children better. Awesome, Daddy. You travel the ends of the earth to provide. You see me as an eternal partner. You never make us feel as if we're inferior, always open to everything. You are a very good role model of how to treat your parents, and I hope I learn from you. You're always understanding and always being so quick to acknowledge what you do wrong and for always apologizing. That's your reward, bro. It can't get any better than that. And then for the AFA'ESE family, I'm going to look for sages. You guys get to frame this when you go home, or a sage, your happy spirit. Thankful being my niece that makes me proud in whatever you do, for bringing me back to God. Wow. Crown of glory, sage. Amen. I thank you because you're so thoughtful. You're my sister. That's your reward. And lastly, where did I put the Mana family? Oh, dear. Okay. Can't pick it up right now. Pick it up. It's okay. I hope you guys, I'll pass this out to you guys, and you guys can take this home and even elaborate on this as a family activity for worship, and then frame it up. Because there's nothing like words. And the Bible says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. The words are so powerful. So when you get to go home, use this as a family activity. But I'll write to'o. I'll read, because I don't see you very often, to'o. So your family, this is your reward. I am thankful for the energy, life, and motivation you have shown us. I am thankful in your difference in perspective, heart definitions that cause me to think humbly. I'm thankful for your positive, encouraging attitude. That's your reward. It just doesn't get better than rewards that are just so priceless. Amen. So when we ended the first activity, we got this crown, right? This is your crown, this is your reward. And I'm just going to read from 2 Timothy as my end text, and then I'm just going to hand it over to Deanne. And it says in 2 Timothy 4, verse 7 to 9, and it says, I have fought the good fight. Yes. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give to me on that day, and not to me only, but also to all those who loved his appearing. So family, God bless you. May you continue to reward each other with something that money can never buy, and that is relationships, not religion. God bless, family.